Some stories are heard, others become legendary. Welcome to the Becoming Legendary podcast, hosted by Ana-Rita Valente, the visibility architect and the fame activator. Real stories, raw conversations, legendary impact.
Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Becoming Legendary. Oh, you are going to get a very special podcast. It's almost offensive to say podcast. It's like a life-changing moment. Yeah, and I don't say this. I say this because I'm feeling. So, becoming legendary or being legendary, let me tell then the first thing I need to tell about my guest is we have something in common. I did use the same, or I used the same name than you, not by birth. But that being said, I have Rocky here with me. How are you doing?
Rita, great to see you, wild star animal.
What story? Let me give a background on this. Normally, when I have my guests, I never talk with them before, but me and you, we spend like 1.5 hours before talking. So I feel like I know you for all my life. I know exactly what what kind of vibration I get from you. So that for me is the most important. Um, Now, my marketeer brain and the person who share, it's looking to you and all what I know then you are going to bring to the table, to the screen and to the audio. This is going to shape some belief system that I'm totally against, and I cannot do that because I'm not in your position, but you can. So I could ask you, who are you? But then it was going to be a full, like, loaded question. Where you want to start, Rocky?
Well, I think that's a great starting point, Rita. And, I think, if you really think about it, everyone watching this show, listening to this program today, is really starting with the same question. And this is what we have. If God gives you another day tomorrow, Rita, we're going to wake up, and the time we're given to live, we have to answer who we are
Oh,
every day, Rita, because we are involved in such a kinetic age of information flow, not only in the airwaves that we can see and be perturbed through advertising. Everybody today, Rita, it really has to answer to not only themselves and their God creator, but they have to answer to their family, friends, business associates, to their nation, who they are. And every day, this is what's frightening and thrilling at the same time, Rita. When I go to bed at night, I have a very similar thought. And I always say to God before I drift off to sleep, I say, thank you, God, for the day. Thank you for letting me know how little I know.
oh.
Because,
There is a very
dude,
philosophic, Greek philosophic Socrates. I just
think
know that I don't know anything.
think about, it's almost as if, Rita, it's almost, and I'm a follower of Jesus, and also I'm a lover of lady history, which is a wild combination. Um, but let me tell you this: what I really think our lives are, even in God's, even in God's grand design, given the capacity of the heavens, we spend our days, Rita, building lovely sandcastles through the day, through the night. That goes to zero. That goes to less than zero. Thank God. Hopefully, we have enough of a frame of reference. Here's the opportunity. We live in the worst of times and the best of times, Rita, simultaneously.
Mm-hmm.
Simultaneously, young lady. So we have a decision to make. Are we going to get on some Xanax? Are we going to get drunk? Or are we going to drink some green tea and change the world?
100%.
And so it is so exciting.
Or
I
all
was on a
together at the same time, huh?
hey,
All
think about it,
together.
Rita. It's like we're at the airport, right? You
Mm,
got two airlines to take.
mm,
Take this airline or that airline. So here's what's exciting to me. Here's what is elevating my heart. Dude, I got so excited that they had a podcast, I started crying because out of joy. I'm it's ridiculous.
No,
I
it's not
couldn't even talk.
ridiculous. I majority of my crying after I spent 4 years crying for sadness, and the last
Really.
couple of months I just cry for happiness, and I found
Think
myself
about it.
crying for observing a little bird. So,
So here's the thrilling thing, Rita. Seriously, not only do we have a God controller entity that is active, this is simultaneous. We have an active God creator on the strategic level. In other words, you and I are able to communicate now face to face across oceans, whatever. We also are able to breathe air in, and the universe, the atmosphere we're breathing is well, yours might be at a higher elevation, from what I understand, but it's
mhm,
still like a similar chemical mixture
mhm,
of oxygen and the various compounds. And then get this, Rita, at a tactical level, this is where it gets to where I almost want to cry sometimes. We have, and if you look at the book of, I believe it's the book of Colossians in the New Testament of the Christian Bible, there is an inference. I think it's Colossians 1, verse 1, but somewhere in there, or either chapter 3, verse 1. But there is an allusion by the author of the book of Colossians that all things on earth are literally physically held together by Jesus and his spirit.
mhm,
So look at that. We've got strategic benevolence, and
mhm,
we've got small level tactical benevolence. And
mhm.
now where it gets really exciting, Rita, this is where I want to lay on you this point blank. The love of the creator for his children, in other words, the love that God has for you, Rita, the kinetic love force that God has for me, Rita, it's not abstract. Now, do you understand that?
Of course I do.
It's not a theory, young lady.
No, of
It
course
is
I
real.
do.
Do
It's
you
it,
see that? Do you
I
feel that?
I I I believe I survive to so many things in my life. And many times I did not felt then I did deserve it. But
Mm,
I felt then what it had, the miracle did happen could just be from something that is bigger than me.
mm,
And
yeah,
I'm very intuitive, and I arrive to a moment. There is two interesting things. I'm a control freak because I love
mhm,
to finish and end things. But the last years living in Mexico and connecting so much with all options of the spiritual world, whatever that means, because
mm,
there is thousands of ways of seeing gods, of seeing something. Then one of the things is if you try something really, really, really hard and you give your best and it doesn't work, you need to drop it. Then other times you believe then is a nightmare arriving to you, and on the end you will see in some years then that was the best thing that did happen to you. And
mm,
another very funny thing is you really believe then you are in control, and no. And
mhm,
we, in my opinion, I just believe then we need to give our very best. We are still our humans.
mm,
We need to have fun, to
mhm,
enjoy, to live in gratitude, to give. I adore to. I suffer of a selfish pleasure of giving, as I like to say. I to achieve, to inspire, And that became my life mission. My life mission is, and now I'm going to go a little bit more about our connection, is
Mhm.
looking to you with my heart full of I don't want to sound weird, but full of love and hope,
Mhm. Mhm.
because we are having a conversation, and we will have that conversation in seconds. We are talking about AI, some, on off.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
I told you how I did relate with AI, and we can talk about that in a second. And knowing your age, and knowing that we are doing this, I know then the generation of crystal, as we like to call them, are sitting, and are looking to this woman who's 45, and to this man who is, if you want to tell,
Sure.
and
Sure.
we are on the game. And guess what? We are going to make it happen,
Mhm. Mhm.
because we are aware as well. We arrive, we arrive like we have the same age, but we arrive to a moment in your life, then we know, then we cannot do it alone. There is
Mhm.
not, this is about us all together, coming together
Mhm.
and taking
Mhm.
the best of each person, and
Mhm.
calling in based on our like how we vibrate, what are our values, our energetic or gods, you name it, put people on the
Mhm.
way, then are exactly
Mhm.
the people then we need. And not then you
Mhm.
need me, but, or then I need you, but I know then I cannot inspire men, and we are talking about kids, like we can call them kids, 30 something,
Mhm. Mhm.
inspire them about what is to be, I hope I say this well, a man. And I mean in a good way. So all
Mhm.
the dumb people who are listening to this and are taking to the other side, there is your own problem. But
Mhm.
there is a lack of examples of a man who is totally in love with his wife, and at the
Mhm.
same time doesn't care with oh, you are out of the age of making something,
Mhm.
you are
Mhm.
aware of where you are good and where you probably need help, me too.
Mhm.
And we just come together because there is nothing. I adore money, and I mean, like, money is great. I have nothing against money. I love it. Okay, I'm a minimalist. I don't necessarily need monster things. I'm not a materialist. I'm a minimalist. But
Mhm.
I cannot be an example for a demographic than you can.
Mhm.
And if we cross the part of masculine, like masculine energy, and we even start playing around with AI, because I'm 45, I'm a geek on AI, I love AI, AI loves me, point. I don't know, we have a
Mhm.
great relationship. Everyone asked me, and one of my problems of being a coach is like, you make look then is so simple, because it
Mhm.
comes natural to me. Now, and now I can go in another point. I really believe then there is, you can think then there is something kind of from another level of conscience connected
Mhm.
there. But majority of men and women, 45, 50 plus, see AI as or a monster or something they will never be able to handle. And we are
Mhm.
talking about some minutes ago before on off, like flexibility, the person who's more flexible, more open to, more
Mhm.
wondering. I'm not
Mhm.
saying then I'm right, you are right, I'm wrong, you are wrong.
Mhm.
Like, just wonder what else. And this is like, there is like philosophy of self-care, like what else is possible.
Mhm.
What else is possible?
You got it, Rita. Curiosity really is. I was on a podcast recently and I was begging because I really feel that young people have been not served well.
Oh, 100%.
Those
Poor them.
they have 40 years and younger have been ill served. Now, but everything is being prefaced, Rita, in that we can turn it around today. So I'm not crying about spilt milk, but I will share this with you. I just want to add on well, one of the things about your whole conversation here, I felt for a moment, and this is what's exciting. People can't, people always second guess God when he created men. He come over here and he creates women. I thought for a second, young lady, and you tell me if I'm right or wrong. Listen to this.
Yeah.
I thought you were looking at me a minute ago like you were my mother, with mother's eyes, that you wanted to see something born in me, that you were going to birth in me a process.
Very interesting way to see.
I
Okay.
saw that feminine
Okay.
energy.
It's a very, thank you for that. Point one, it warms my heart. And point two, that is something that every person who works with me tells.
Mm,
I am present.
mm,
I am here and I am here. And I will look to you and work with you in co-creation
mm,
because I can have, like I said to you, popcorn ideas like, let's do this. And it's like, slow
mm,
down, girl, you're going too fast because I have that tendency as well. But
mm,
I never had that explanation seen like that. But yes, I look to my clients and you're going to make me cry. I looked and it's not, I don't have clients, I have family. I have people
mm.
then
Exactly.
yeah. And
Exactly, Rita.
I,
Exactly.
I see you and I see you as okay, how can we are going to get, and I don't
Mm,
even have clarity in where we go, but I just know
mm,
we can do it together.
mm.
And
It's
thank you for that because I
it's
think yes,
interesting,
I think
Rita.
yes, I look with mom's
You
eyes.
you just had some thought there that literally came down and hit your body of work and my body of work simultaneously. And that's this. I've been begging businesses, brands, government officials, candidates. I come from well, I'm still a very active part of the political ecosystem. I've been begging my people to please don't call them customers, call them family members. If they're not yet your family member, they're your prospective family members.
You know, majority of my money on the last almost 5 years since 2020, where I stopped being a DJ and I became a coach. And then from a
Mm-hmm.
coach, I became a vessel of expanding the message of other ones in creating offers and making money. That for me is
Mm-hmm.
important. Making money
Mm-hmm.
for who's working with me.
Mm-hmm.
I One of my rules of success, and I think this is very important for me,
Mm-hmm.
I refuse to work with people, then I don't feel excited to jump on a call with you at any time and I don't text with you. I don't do that. I And many times I had people paying me $5,000 each 3 months. And after 6, 7 months, 8 months, 9 months, we are exactly on the same space and I cannot handle that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I start taking the responsibility on me, what is
Mm-hmm.
not true. I realized many people when I was selling high tickets were basic paying me to talk with me. They
Mm,
never did put nothing to work. And because the definition for me was like, I'm going to make you make 10K on the next 3 months. Let's do this together and see how we
mm,
arrive there, from the processor to the, you name it, or let me team up with you and let's make it happen. But I I am calling in projects, normally more weird projects. And I say
mm,
weird because if you go to the dictionary, you know, the weird means special. It's a very funny.
mm,
Um, but I deeply feel then the new generations, and I'm going to talk about the
mm,
new generations,
mm,
have it much more difficult than we had it because of social media, because of the values, because of the overprotection. And I'm going to talk about me, than we did give to kids because of the way then we have been raised.
mm,
And and as well because many of us came to this world, and parents, very traumatized for many
mm,
different reasons. So we
mm,
did want to compensate, but at the same time, we did not have the tools. And we
mm.
did not have the tools for the velocity in the world start moving after 2000.
Exactly.
And the values and the family values, for example, and that is a beautiful thing of living across cultures. The family values on Africa or South America or Central America, from Mexico to any other country, Latin,
Mm,
the importance of the mother, of the importance of the family has
mm,
nothing if you compare with the way then United States, Europe, and etc., the way then
exactly.
children connect with. There was a stand up. I was watching a stand up on Netflix the other day from I don't remember his name, but I will find. It was a Cuban kid and was born in the United States, and he
Hmm.
was talking about being a kid with Latin and being a kid who is American, or and how the American kids did talk to the moms on the shopping malls, and you know
Oh yeah,
already we're
yeah. Oh
already
yeah.
where they are from. They are not Latin, and
Exactly.
it's very interesting to analyze as well, because the concept I don't want to get the point one is your podcast. I don't want to get in
Mm,
conspiration mode, but this is
mm,
what I feel as a human. I
mm,
feel then 2020 was a pandemic,
mm,
a disease, but I really deeply believe was much more than that,
mm,
because all the fabric, the society fabric, the way
mm,
then we
mm,
relate to each other, the way
mm,
then we hang out,
mm.
it's never return to the same if you analyze.
Right, right, right.
So when a crazy woman as me come to Colombia, is because here on the middle of the mountain is more easy to sit with strangers on a old cafe out of nowhere, you know, that like a village, like an old village, and have a
Mm,
conversation. And
mm.
probably in New York, or like for me, makes me sick to see someone dating another person and being both with the phones during their dinner. I
Honey, this it is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Sometimes my wife, I'll be getting deep on a podcaster who just watches some of my bros and sisters on their talks, their sermons, and my wife will text me to take out the garbage. And we're in the same house, Rita,
yeah.
and we're getting, what are these things doing? Are these our new gods? It's like,
Yeah, that is a very interesting. I work with social media, as you know. I
Right.
own 500,000 followers across all
What?
the platforms, but
Wow.
I normally, some minutes ago, I was talking with you on my phone, but I
Hmm.
normally control all by my computer. Like
Wow.
my phone doesn't control me.
Mm.
And I even because on the mountain many times if I'm walking, I don't have signal. So that is amazing.
Mm.
Very, very annoying sometimes when you want to send something to someone, but um,
Mm.
I that is freedom. I design, I believe humans design their own reality, and people
Of
need
course.
to start
Hmm.
thinking about,
Hmm.
and I can tell you, Rocky, all the terrible things that did happen to me in my life. And I could like
Hmm.
I don't, I'm even scared to go to each time I need to go to treatment and like psychologist. I have pity because I believe then we are going to be there for the rest of my years. But I think the difference between me and majority of people is I overcome things and I don't make myself a victim. And
Hmm.
if there is a message, then I really did to share is in the moment, then you position yourself as a victim, especially in relation to people, then you had relationships, for example. You can
Hmm.
never, even if they are behaving as a monster, you can never forget and you choose to be there. And like people can thousands of things. Being an entrepreneur is being a kamikaze. And we are talking about having a CEO mind or not. Like
Hmm.
you need to be uh to my head. I had a small technical issue today between different countries and accounts and etc. And my brain went to solve mode in 10 seconds. Okay, we jump from here, we go
Hmm.
here, what we do. And that comes for many years of experience. Now, as well, on 2020, everyone did want to convince everyone, then any person
Hmm.
could set up their business, make 10, 20, 100,000 per
Oh, I
month.
remember. Yes.
And
Yes.
my dear Rocky, you are, and I vibrate, and I will tell you all, like I have a list of products that you can sell tomorrow in my head
Uh-huh.
already.
Um,
Because of who you are, because of how
um,
honest you are, how that feeling comes, because I always position myself on the position of the buyer, right?
mhm,
Of the
mhm.
person who wants to connect. People don't buy the product, people buy the energetics of the person who sell,
Amen.
always.
Amen.
And I can create 5 or 10 ideas for you right now because I'm not
Mhm,
going to say on the podcast, but it is working on my
mhm,
I'll tell you on off. But the thing is, it's time. The world is upside down. Stop criticizing.
mhm,
This is true.
mhm,
We are under, I'm going to say the word war, but in a different
mhm,
way. It's a war.
mhm.
And
That's
I'm
right.
not talking about Iran. I'm not talking about God. I'm not talking about, it's a war. It's the
Mhm,
good against the bad. And the
mhm,
more beautiful and shine, beautiful, I mean, inside beautiful, soul's beautiful,
mhm,
you
mhm,
shine, more attacks you are going to get.
mhm.
So it's time for us, I'm going to say, beings of light, to come together and say, now we are going to show another side because
Mhm.
now with social media, it's not so easy to control the narrative like they used to do.
Rita, I totally agree. Yeah, let's talk about some positive things. Well, first of all, I want to do, no, let's step back a minute. Yeah, thank you for being real in that. I think you just alluded to the fact that you've had some trauma.
A lot.
Let's speak. Let's speak about trauma. I want to give people who have experienced trauma to hope on two levels, both of them deliciously happy.
Mhm.
First of all, the way God is used, I've had I've had some minor failure. Now, failure is an element of trauma, but it's not true trauma. But I will just share this with you, Rita, the way I see it and what I can testify to what God has done in my life is when I have failed the worst, Rita, God used that failure slash trauma negativity to end up, that took years, but it's put together, at least in my political business enterprise. Honey, I'm on a run right now. It makes Brady look like an amateur. And I love Tom Brady. I'm just saying. See, I had my listen to this. When I
I
came
love
out,
NFL, so we are okay on that. Okay,
Brady's so
okay,
cool. And he's so cool,
okay.
so chill. He's just chill. But when I came out of college, I was all bright and pretty and young. And guess what I did? I got out of the world. I got my first political campaign. And guess what happened, Rita? Your little samurai boy, Rocky, lost. He ate a big old L right out the gate. It was very bitter at the beginning
Welcome to
because
the club.
think about it. But Rita, can I beg something from you? Listen to this. We were close. But what's that mean, Rita?
Oh, you stay in second place, then is the worst one. No one wants to say second place is
Hey,
the most annoying thing in
is
the
that
world.
horrible or what? But look what God did, Rita. The greatest things have come from my greatest failures. Let's talk about true trauma, though. We really need to. And I'm talking now to men
I
and women veterans.
I want to talk, but let's turn off and come back because we have
Yes,
one
yes, yes.
minute. Okay, same link. Let's go. Okay?
Okay,
Same
okay.
link, same link. You are ready to talk about trauma.
Oh, I want to talk about trauma, Rita. This is so key. Please share this.
Of
Now I'm
course,
talking about
that is the reason why we're
Rita.
recording this.
This I was so blessed to be at a conference last a couple of weeks. Okay, trauma can affect people. Oh, here's what's sometimes people don't even know they have trauma, Rita. You know this
Yeah.
until sometimes they have a sickness or illness.
Mm-hmm.
I ran into a gentleman. He's a doctor, and he wasn't a doctor all of his life. He became a medical research doctor when his daughter came down with a very bad case of Crohn's disease.
Okay.
Very bad.
That
She
is,
ended up had.
yeah.
She ended up. I'm sorry.
No. I know what is Crohn's disease.
Okay.
Yes.
So she ended up, Rita, having sections of her intestine removed
Yeah.
to no avail. To no avail. Nothing worked.
Okay.
So one
How
day,
old she was?
at the time, she was, I believe, in her little early 30s.
Wow.
So get this:
Yeah.
the father had a conversation with the girl's mother. The conversation got really real, and the wife said to the husband, "Hey, this is your fault because genetically my family doesn't have Crohn's disease." I mean, it got raw. And she said, "It's up to you to get her fixed or she's going to die."
Oh my
Well,
God.
this is a true story. What the man did was he went to medical school, became a research doctor. Long story short, Rita, he has an office 20 minutes from mine. I live near Mickey Mouse over here in Orlando.
Oh,
This gentleman has an office in beautiful Orlando, a section called Lake Nona. Guess what he does? What he does for anyone with known trauma, emotional encounters, and that could include, Narita, men and women in war, men and women in law enforcement who've seen murder victims, children abused, any trauma, what they discovered, long story short, let's talk about his number one case was his daughter who had Crohn's. What they had discovered through exploration, he had been horribly sexually abused as a young girl. What and all she knew as because once she had realized that this was the antagonist to her immune system, what her father did, Rita, he finally articulated a debugging program. He took 4 hours to talk her, first of all, into a theta brainwave state. I
Mm-hmm.
don't really understand all that, but I think at the theta level,
It's a different times of conscience of our body, and we
that's right.
like it happens on the beginning of sleeping, and is a
Yeah.
place where we can absorb more information or access
Mm.
hiding parts of our psychological yeah, there is things
That,
and we don't even realize, and we
mhm.
live with that all our life. Yeah.
Well, thank you for that background, Rita. I did not know that. Well, what
Then we
happened
have
is,
alphabet, a few others.
mhm.
I'm not pro on that, but I know a few things.
Thank you for that. What this doctor discovered was he did more research and he also studied a lot of academic research. Rita, this is going to blow your mind. Trauma, okay, emotional distress from trauma literally, categorically, chemically degrades genetic expression in a human being. What I mean by that is literally, he can show with academic papers, Rita, if a human being has emotional based trauma, either known or hidden, what it can do to the human is affect to the human to the genetic code level, interrupting, get this, interrupting or perturbing hormonal and chemical output from the person's genetic code. Hence, this is why the young woman had Crohn's. Her immune system, there was something wrong with her. It wasn't on her head. Her emotions made her violently ill and close to death. Some of the other complications she was experiencing, Rita, included blood in the lungs. She had to live near a hospital. I'm happy to report. Here's the good news, y'all. Make a note of this. If you know somebody that has trauma in their life, especially if it's something they know, and y'all know what I'm talking about. This is something where some of these veterans I know, these wars never end. I've got brothers who they're still living like they're humping hills in Vietnam. War is hell. But guess what the good news is? This doctor who's over in Lake Nona, he spends 4 hours with his typical client, and in the conclusion of 4 hours, what he does is he reframes the trauma.
Mm-hmm.
Orientation is everything, Rita. You hinted at it when you said, look at how big you've gotten. You said, I am more than trauma. And
Yeah.
this is you empowering yourself to put trauma at scale. You reduce the trauma where you can hereby operate as a healthy person. You did that through sheer will. What this doctor does is he helps the person with a conversation, Rita,
Uh-huh.
no drugs, 4 hours only, and get this, the trauma, which may be at 88% of their conscious will and drive, is reduced to about 3% of their attention span. Guess what happens? The
Yeah,
chromosomes can go back to
of
stasis,
course. Of
to
course.
zero, to healthy operation.
Of course.
This is
Because
a very, go ahead.
because um if you think about the diseases in special women, you
Mm-hmm.
probably know this, who have cancer and other things is
Mm-hmm.
I believe one of the things who saved me of not, and I died 2 times in my life already. I,
Really?
I went through all cross from suicide to addiction to all things. I crossed all the paths.
Oh, wow.
I did all the things, but
Mm.
I believe one of the things who saved me of not have cancer now, or even when like it was a very simple thing. even though I consider myself a very strong woman, I never have issues of crying. And
Really?
I can cry my eyes out and not being able to breathe. But I
Really?
will, I believe, I always believed then the energy then gets inside of you. For example, I still suffer, but much better. I had 4 years ago, I had the most traumatic stage of my life with panic attacks. I don't know if you ever, like, it's mentally, physically difficult to understand,
Oh yeah, of
and
course.
then is very embarrassed to go through this in life. And I
Mm,
have a specific moment that really broke me.
really?
Panic attacks normally come in special if you are a workaholic and you worked a lot and then you
Mm,
miss alcohol and blah blah blah. And it was my
mm,
birthday. And I
mm,
worked 17 hours that day, and I had a party with my husband and with two of our friends in a very cool restaurant.
mm,
And it was my birthday, right?
mm,
As soon I did get inside of the restaurant, and I cannot tell you if it was the lights, if it was the
mm,
sounds, if it was, I start feeling, and I don't know if you never felt a panic attack, good for you.
mm, mm,
If you feel a panic attack, you just want to run because your body just says coming a T-Rex and nothing
mm,
is happening. So and it's
mm,
because people don't understand you. So only things say, oh my God, just breathe.
mm,
And automatically I start feeling that. My first thing was the only thing who can control this right now is alcohol. What is never a good
mm,
answer, and I'm not promoting that, but was
mm,
getting in a level, then I did know that. And
mm,
obviously people start looking to me and it's like, come on, you just arrived, and like, calm down. And I did
mm.
need to live my birthday, and
Really?
my people stay there. And then
Oh,
I suffer the two sides of the story, because from one side I was freaking out. I had when you were talking about Xanax before, I had Xanax at home so I could control myself. Then I was destroyed because I love my birthday. I was born at 21 December, so the winter solstice, and I
mm,
adore to be my birthday, and I could not believe then, like, people are celebrating my birthday and I'm crying in the house.
mm,
And it's a very, very emotional, interesting disease. But as well, and I'm going to leave this here, it traumatized me so much. And I had in the first years, I don't know if you know this, but the cortisol goes down around 4 a.m. And in
mm,
that moment, if you have really hard anxiety, what happens is you have what they call horror sleeping. So you wake
mm.
up, when you wake up from a horror dream, and you jump on the bed and you are sweating. And I remember one day to be so mad with that. And I start shouting on the house alone, like, what you
Really?
want? What you want, anxiety? What you want? What do you want? What can I do more? Like, and then I realized, then not on that moment, it was still a consequence, but my
Mm,
anxiety did make me do the most hard change in my life, where I did need to take the most difficult decision of my life, and as well a decision that was going always to be wrong. You know, that kind
mm,
of decisions, then whatever you
mm.
do, you are going to fail, right?
Yeah,
There is
yeah.
always someone else who's going to see you did this wrong.
Mm,
But that anxiety on the end did save my life. And anxiety, for example, on that case, is a way
mm,
of our body to say, I love you. You are not moving away from the danger, so I will make you move away.
Amen. Rock bottom is the best doctor, right?
Oh my God. But very, very addictive. That is something else.
Yeah.
I am the phoenix. I'm the person like, I'm the
Really?
survivor. I go and I construct and everything falls apart and I come out of the ashes.
Mm,
Now, detail. That is
mm.
very addictive. And people who are used to live at that level of intensity,
Yeah.
fault here, totally guilty,
Yeah.
doesn't know how to live in peace
Well,
because
that's
we
a good point,
we
Rita.
start getting we are like, okay, everything is going well, money comes every day, I'm healthy, everyone is okay. How I'm going to, because that becomes your identity. You
Mm,
become that survivor, that person who always save in the last second, and it's
mm.
like a kind of a superhero. But you arrive to 40s and it's like, this is having a toll in my life. And
Well,
I want to learn. And then oh, exactly, on this mountain 2 years ago, I came to the story that, the world or gods. I came by accident here because my idea of Colombia was ghetto and God know what, and no.
how did you
Forget
get there?
forget I was mad. And because I was international DJ for many, many years, I have a website where, not mine, where I will find the best prices for tickets. And
Right?
the next ticket from the city where I was Medellin. And I was scared, and I did believe I was coming to ghetto. And Pablo Escobar is the only thing that came to my mind. And I came out of the airport, and I was like, I'm in Atlantida. What is this? Is the most obvious. You need to know where to go. As a city is busy, but I don't live on a city. I live on a mountain with
Mm.
like really in very high altitudes. And so I can have, if I want to go to the city, I can. But I adore, I did need, oh, and I learned happiness here for the first time. And I learned that real happiness is not, oh my God, we made $100,000. Yeah, we are in Times Square. Yeah. No, real happiness is exactly what I'm feeling right now. Is peace. Is then you have all what you need.
So, Rita, you're literally on a mountain. You have to walk to civilization.
I told you that. Yeah.
So
So
wild.
I need to walk 8 miles to go down to go shopping. And then I need to come 8 miles, but we are not talking about 8 miles plan. We are talking 8 miles. Let me convert. It's like 200 meters, like 400 feet high. So when I'm walking up, when I'm walking down, it's hard enough because you need to do a lot of, it's
Yeah,
strong on your knees. But
yeah.
when you are coming up, the mountain teach you a lot. For example,
I bet.
the mountain teach you, then you can have a lot of money on your bank account. But if you just have your card, doesn't work because here no one receives cards in Special International. So you
Mm.
need to have cash. Now, other very funny thing about Colombia, any person who wants to feel and believe they are millionaires, they need to come to Colombia. Let me
Really?
explain to you. Each time I make $250, what is nothing, or each time I make $2,000, I have 8 million on my bank account.
Really?
Yeah, because of the conversion. So
Oh, okay, okay.
if you believe you want to be a millionaire and you are not specific,
Oh, that's a heavy
each
point. I
time you make
like that.
250, you have 1 million. If you make
I love.
500, you have 2 million. So you are a multi-millionaire.
Oh, that's deep. That is like that's like a dunk.
No,
Rita
but
just,
this is good for every person to say, I want to be a millionaire. So
yeah,
come.
exactly. As if that's going to solve anything. You just dunked it, Rita.
Yeah, I know
That's like
I'm very short to play basketball, but yes.
that would have been a Rita dunk. You got up on a ladder and flew at it like Michael Jordan. It's just
No,
you,
I'm totally unable. I have this incapacity to play any sports.
really?
Yeah, I was so bad. So I homeschool in Africa and then I went to high school.
Right,
I love to say this because I was so bad in sports. Then in two things, physical education. I was always chosen for the team after the really fat guy. So you have an idea when you,
right.
and I did physical education on high school by written exam. So I think I give you example how terrible I
But
was.
look at you now, girl. Now you're climbing mountains to get home.
Oh, I was good riding horses and doing other things, but I was not
Yeah,
necessary. I think I have a dyslexic with all kind of like, for example, I can play squash, what doesn't make sense, but I can totally not play tennis.
right,
My eye doctors say I have a very strong right eye, so I'm very
right,
laser focused, like sniper kind. But
right,
if you give me an open field, like forget it. Like no,
right.
no, no.
Well, that's wild. Well, you told me earlier you've been carrying around 25 pounds of rocks to get around to get a little
Not
exercise.
rocks. No foods. No, you
Oh,
need to
food,
buy
groceries.
food, pantries. Yeah.
That is just so wild. We're so spoiled here. And like, I have two grocery.
No, I was spoiled as well. Look, I lived in Manhattan. I live in Cannes. I live in Amsterdam. I lived even if you are living on the city here, you have a service that is rapid, and rapid like in 10 minutes is in your home
Oh,
with
really?
beer or food. Like it's really
Okay.
fast. But on the mountain, no. So, and the mountain teach you being humble.
Yeah. Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Always be humble. Yes, every day.
And be grateful as well, you
Yes,
know? Being
yes.
grateful for me, gratitude did save my life. I
Amen.
I have an exercise that I do every single day. Um, I record an audio. I do with ChatGPT. I have a chat trained right now, but I do
Mhm.
three or four things that I'm grateful for that day,
Right.
and not necessarily
Right.
the house or the 100,000 or the simple things. The taste of
Hmm.
coffee with cinnamon.
Hmm. Hmm.
Then I do three or four things that I'm proud of.
That's good.
Yeah. And then I do a description because this should be done on the beginning of the day. I do the description. I tell how it was the day, like the day did end already, but we are on the morning. Okay, it's like a vision of like, oh, today, imagine during this morning, I said, I had this amazing podcast with Rocky, and we have so many things that we can do together, and blah, blah, blah. I had money from surprising sources, and it's something that I'll always love to add. And I had like nice conversations. I saw that bird, and I'm looking because I'm always looking to different birds, and all of that amazing things. And then the last one, you do the same, but like in a vision of in 3 months up front. So you mark a
Mm.
day and you are always talking about 31 August. It's 31 August. I have this, I'm still living on this house. I'm planning to buy it. I have a car finally, so I don't need to, all of that things. And that really grounds me. And another thing that I do with people who work with me, the first exercise that
Uh-huh.
I make everyone do, everyone have vision boards. We are done with that. Okay, good.
Hmm.
I will make, I don't give orders to anyone. I will
Hmm.
invite you to do a board of achievements.
Oh, I
And
like that.
what is a board of achievements? Since you are born, There are moments then you felt like you dropped the mic, then you punch
Yeah.
the bully, or
Yeah.
moments who make you laugh as hard. All of us have that moments. Like
Mhm.
make, and then I will ask you to print it or put on the window on the mirror.
Mhm.
Because when you want to make, and I'm going to give you a very dumb example, then it was cool 2 years ago. If you want to make $10,000 and you never did $10,000 out of your normal system of making money and you want to
Mhm.
create your company,
Mhm.
that board of achievements is like the charge, the gasoline. There are two important parts is remembering who you are and what you
Mhm.
did achieve
Mhm.
and knowing your why you want to go there. Why is that
Mhm.
important? Because a
Mhm.
strong why is like the full address on a WhatsApp, oh, on WhatsApp, on a Google Maps.
Oh,
I can
I
tell
like that.
I can tell you I'm in the mountain of Santa Elena in Colombia, but you will not find me.
Oh,
I can tell you exactly where I am and you arrive here. So a strong why, because there is moments then you say, oh my God, what I'm doing. It's
yeah.
not going, it's normal. It's part of the journey. Imposter
Right.
syndrome comes and say, you are not good for this. It's not
Yes.
working.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, and then you look to your board of achievements and say, wait a second, I survived much more than this. Shut up, imposter syndrome. And you look like, I want to do this because I want to help. I'm going to give you an example. People even younger than me to navigate the relationship with God and AI and all these things.
Mhm.
And I'm here. And if one resonates, I'm happy enough.
Mhm. I like what you're doing, Rita, with the visioneering. Well, actually, what you're really doing is visioneering. A lot of people are taught to visualize, but what you're doing is you're putting context, and you have a daily vision. And what you say, you also have a quarterly vision,
Yeah, I normally, not necessarily quarterly, but I choose a specific day and I will keep repeating that day what is going to happen. Sometimes change, obviously, until the day. And then that day I jump to another one.
Let me ask you a question about when you're doing that, Rita. Are you actually visionarying with the idea that you have conquered that objective, or talk to me about
I
that?
can tell you, I always did conquer that objective.
When you so it's the day after, and you're telling yourself you did it.
Yeah, sometimes the vision of the day is not perfect, so it's
Right,
getting more short and
right.
something, but I remember specific one time I did want to travel with my husband and our cat from Mexico to Madrid.
Mm,
And all the things like how she's going to go. I don't know. It was making our life complicated. And
mm,
I for 3 months, detailed every single day, went step by step on the trip, step by step, how it was going to be. Then she was going to be okay. She's going to sleep all trip. We are going to sleep all trip. When we arrived
mm.
to Madrid, then I was not even sure if like the guys were not a scam and I will have an apartment when I arrived.
Yeah,
All that details. And I
yeah.
remember we watch Apollo, whatever if they went to the moon or not, that is another conversation. But
Hmm.
I was watching, we were watching Apollo 13 or 11 or whatever. And I was like,
Hmm.
if that guys could go to space on that thing, we can take our cats to there. And yeah, 100%.
Now,
All the focus, you design your own reality point.
well,
If
yeah, that's so true. And if we even look, this reminds me of one of the remarkable days in Jesus' life when he was standing before Pontius Pilate. And a lot of people live and they enjoy being in positions of power. And Pontius was saying to Jesus, not only in word but probably with his eyes, "Don't you know who I am?" And if you remember, most of the time, I think once or twice Jesus responded out of courtesy. But what you do you know what was really blowing Pontius Pilate's mind? Jesus looked through him, reader. Do you understand what I mean when I say that?
Of course, I do.
Honey, he didn't even see him.
Yeah.
That was his reality. He knew who his boss was. Father God up there. Was he going to sweat some little magistrate with? He didn't even give him the honor, Rita, of expressing displeasure. So the reality he was dialed into. You're exactly right. We determine by our identity and actions. We determine the reality, and this sometimes will be very aggravating to people who are members of the matrix.
Oh,
They want to
oh.
be in control.
Okay. There, that was what I was saying about Jesus, about God or whatever. Um, I many times I believe I'm in control, and then he remembers me, and then not. I'm not. Like there is a joke, then he says, "Tell your how is tell your plans to God, and He will laugh," or something like that. We are not in control of anything. I just believe we need to be good people, even
Well, Rita,
for ourselves. And when I mean good people, don't. It's not like, oh yes, I give my others. Like it's like being good, and being good many times is saying no, and being good many times is
amen. Amen
saying
to that. Yes.
it's saying
Yes.
to it, this doesn't serve me.
That's right.
It doesn't work for me. That make
That's right.
doesn't make you bad. Like
Right.
imagine that I make you a proposal and you say, "Look, this doesn't work for me." And
Mm.
it's all perfect. Like it's all okay. Now, as well, I will tell them people forget something really important.
What's that?
Celebration.
So true. So true. Especially little things, right?
Yeah. I used to I don't have it now, but I used to have a little bell at home.
Mm-hmm.
And each
Mm-hmm.
time money did came in from my business, I ring the bell
Mm-hmm.
and I did a silly dance. Now I just do a silly dance and I don't have a bell right now. But it's like celebrating God, universe, and I tell as a business coach, I tell this a lot. I'm not a business coach, as I told you already, but I used to tell a lot. If you never sold, and the majority of people came from corporates or came from
Mm-hmm.
never being an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
So you need someone to back you up because the mentality it's totally different.
Mm-hmm.
Entrepreneurs are kamikaze and are used to that. I used to not
Mm-hmm.
know where the next money comes from, but
Mm-hmm.
celebration is key. And
Mm-hmm.
celebrating $10 is a way to tell then you are open to receive more. Celebrate
So true.
a hundred
So true.
dollars. Celebrate. You just need to start selling and celebrating, to start sharing if you
Mm-hmm.
want and celebrating. And
Mm-hmm.
and another thing is like you can have, and I think this is the big problem of every. I'll tell this. Okay, let me not tell them is the problem. This changed my life as
Mm-hmm.
I I used to believe to create offers, and I'm talking about the digital world because I love
Right.
digital. I love digital because I don't like to invest in things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like to invest in products and things. I like to invest in knowledge
Mm-hmm.
and then create something. But
Okay.
you can have an idea, and majority of people will do this. They have an idea of what they believe people want. And I'm going to give you a great example of that. And then they create this full course, got no film, edit, and I did that. I did that in the first time. I did want to teach people how to grow their Instagram with Facebook ads, and it took me 2 months, and I sold one course. So then I realized we have the knowledge, but we need to go on a quest of talking with our people and ask like, okay, what are you interested in? Can you give me feedback? Can we sit 1 hour? Can I ask some questions? Where are you now? Where you want to be? Whatever is creating an offer, whatever is expanding your business, whatever is growing your social
Mhm.
media, whatever, or whatever is all. And my people create my offers.
Mm.
My people tell me based in what I know how to do. Many
Mm.
times it is the same offer, but the hook is different because I
Mm.
didn't want to call it, I remember the first time, fight imposter syndrome and go viral. Forget it. How to make
Mm.
10K per month, I was making, fighting imposter syndrome and go viral. That's sold.
Mm.
And then as well, I deeply believe then I cannot stand coaches who saying to someone who never sold 1 cent to
Mm.
go and ask 5,000 and go and ask 10,000. Your body is not used to that. You will not know how to manage that, you know. It's good to build momentum and understanding, okay, what type of time I want to deliver. Do I want a product that people can consume alone, or do I want to be present and give my
Mhm.
energetics?
Mhm.
So there is a lot. There is a lot. There is a lot.
Well, let's just, I want to give something to the young people. It's so important about the daily journal. Now, Rita, on the visioneering exercises of your daily vision, backtrack, and then your time forward once you've conquered and you have a win, you're visioneering back. Are you physically writing this on paper?
I record audio.
You record
So
audio. Okay.
initially I used to find a random person that I did not know and vice versa, and I used to send that audio to her, and she was in Australia. And then now I am on the process of creating an app because today is not so difficult, where people can have this exercise and
So you were being like accountability partners to each other, like investing in each other, sharing each other's little wins, visions back and forth.
yeah,
That's a
people
great idea.
people need accountability,
Amen.
but okay, what sells right now? And I don't like the word sells, but
Mm-hmm.
the most is hope,
Mm-hmm.
confidence,
Mm-hmm.
new perspectives,
Mm.
community.
Community is on the rise, Rita. Yes, it's coming.
Community is gold. If I
Yes.
was you, Rocky, okay, I'm going to drop on the podcast right now. I was building a community.
Yeah.
I'll give you my day on off so no one takes it away. And I will tell you, then probably the big money now is going to be on the next year, months, in-person event again.
Really.
Yeah,
Face to face, small group leader.
yeah.
Really.
And this kind of interaction where I don't have makeup and you like this
You don't
raw.
have make you don't have
No,
makeup?
of course not. No, I
Oh
just
my
joke.
gosh. Well,
No.
you are a superstar.
Oh, thank you so
Yeah.
much. And it's about reality. We are
Oh, I like that.
I
I
love
like
AI.
that.
I love AI. I adore,
Yes.
but
Yes.
AI just work if there is a human with a soul and with a heart behind.
Yes.
People believe, for example, I make music, as you know. People
Yes.
believe then they write the prompt, they push the button, they take the first song. It doesn't work like that. You need, you need, you need to, you need all on the business side of the world.
Hmm.
My mom was an entrepreneur, so I'm
Really?
like, yeah, my mom and my dad. My mom used to tell me, she died, I was really young, but she used to tell me that in business, you always need to give
Oh, yes.
some
Yes.
something more than you are
Yes.
getting.
Amen. That's so true.
And I am very proud then 80% of my business on the last couple of years, and I did many mistakes. Many
Right.
was returning clients. My clients did
Mm.
not even know what I jumped from all kinds. I went from holistic because I did not want to do visibility, and my
Mm.
clients keep going with me because they buy your energetics before they buy any other thing.
How interesting. Well, your mother hit on something that I have really been preaching, and I don't like the word sales either. I like the word offering
Oh yeah.
because let me build on what your mother lived by. And this is, I think, going to elevate a new economy, Rita, and that's this. Sales is really part of the 19th century empire slaveholder mind. It's essentially evil. Today, Rita, we have the economy dying, or there's zombies. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to take your mother's thinking,
Mm.
and I've done this lifetime, Rita. I helped a young man
Give
who,
me 1 second because I need to send you another link. Then we have less than 1 minute.
oh my goodness, we're running through it.
No, I will send you another one, a new one by your email. Okay?
Okay, okay.
Okay, okay, okay.
Wait,
We are back. We are
okay,
talking.
Rita, this is really, honey, this is rocking the world. I had a young salesman. I love Meltwater. They have a beautiful half AI power. I come from also a communications background. I worked in PR and communications for a while, and they were trying to. And here's another thing, Rita. I take every sales call.
Mhm.
Every odd ass salesperson that calls me, you know why? Because I like to learn about communication people, and usually I also am able to recruit beautiful proteges that can be trained and that want to be ministered to, and or I'll get customers from sales calls. But anyway, back to your mother. Your mother essentially is saying, Rita, honey, lead with a gift. This
Oh.
is the counterintuitive. This is the new economy. This is capitalism 2.0. And what happens is it destroys all old 19th century business metrics. So anyway, this young man, probably 21, 22, he lives down here in Miami, the 305 area code, hop in Miami. They call it the 305. And he was trying to pitch me Meltwater for a month. And I kept telling him, and his name's Sam. I said, Sammy, you don't know what you have. Would you please let me come down to Miami? I'll come down there for $1,000. I'll train your whole squad. You don't know what you have. It's so good. Can I come to? Finally, Sam Meltwater said no. They didn't need any outside help. But Sammy stayed with me. I've got his cell. Sammy said, Rocky, teach me. I want to get up and do something. I said, Sammy, you got it, young man. Because, no knowledge is good unless it works. So for about 2 weeks, I sent him my writings. I poured into him with audio messages. Well, anyway, I got done this is just module one of my philosophy on presentation. But
Mhm.
I didn't hear from him for about 2 months, Rita. And I didn't know if he had gotten drunk and fell in the ocean, or if he got kidnapped, or, maybe, I don't know, who knows, all these terrible. Anyway, I got a text from him the other day, and and we always used to talk gangster to one another just for fun. I used to tease him, and I used to tell him, I said, Sammy, one day when you're in your Bentley and you're on South Beach and your driver is going around the corner, said one day your Bentley's suspension's gonna break. And he said, how come, Samurai Rocky? I said, because Sammy, that's your Zelle bump hitting your bank. You're gonna be that fat. Money to you will be a joke. It'll be a problem because there's germs on it, and it's never going to be a fact in your life. Anyway, I got a text from we always just joke like that incessantly, totally irreverent and improper. I got a text from the other day, Rita. He said, I've got packages for you. I said, what are you talking about? Packages. That could mean a lot of things, right? He goes, no,
Mm-hmm.
I've got little envelopes that cash you out of a gift. I said, how come, Sammy? He said, Sammy, I'll put it to you this way, Rocky. I really took your training and your ministry to heart, all your philosophies, and you're out to, and Meltwater, this was like about a month ago, Meltwater had given him, they're really cruel people. They'll actually write out little numbers for their salesmen and women and say, this is the number you got to hit in 90 days, Rita, or
Mm.
you're gone. Well, guess what little Sammy did? He
What
exceeded
was the
their,
number? Now
I
I'm
don't
curious.
know. I don't know. But this is, you know what little Sammy did?
Mm.
He exceeded their number of the 90-day goal on day 28.
Yeah.
Now, I did the math on it with regression. So
Mm-hmm.
Sammy was at a run rate of exceeding the Fortune 100 sales philosophy of by almost 400%. Where I differed with the traditional, when Sammy would call me months ago, he would always lead, you know it, with the F word, feature.
Mm.
Now, you know, features is going to do nothing but turn your ass into a commodity
Yes.
because they'll take features and shop you on Amazon.
Yeah.
I said, Sammy, it's C, life is C equals P, Rita. Capabilities equals possibilities. Now, get over on the P side of life. Tell them what meltwater is going to make possible. Get these boys and girls to dream again. They were told when they were little,
Oh my
get
God.
in line. Don't color out. You didn't color outside the lines, did you, Rita?
Oh no, only only
What?
out.
What'd you do? You colored the whole damn thing.
I call like I was a disaster in coloring. I'm amazing doing AI art right
Oh,
now because I
I've
can control it.
I've seen some of your art in those magazine covers. It's absolutely vibrant. It looks beautiful.
Oh, yeah. I finally, my father was a great painter, and I
Really?
was so frustrated because I could not even draw a house.
Well, what did he
So
paint? Like Rembrandt, or what was his style?
no, my I am lucky that I grew up in a my mom was much more the entrepreneur side, and my father
Right.
was did radio and was much
Oh,
more artistic and was a guy who talked a lot about. I my the beginning of my life was such a mix of cultures because it was a new country, like I said to you. So, you remember 70s, 80s, all the new countries, Cold War. So all the
yeah,
communist countries trying to get on the new countries. So
yeah.
I grew up between Cubans, Russians, Chinese, Africans, and all the mix. And but coming back to you, I have a rule myself, and I think it comes from my mom.
Go ahead.
No one buys any single thing from me.
What do you mean?
I mean, I don't sell any single thing, is what I mean. I don't sell any
Okay,
single
okay,
thing.
okay.
I give, 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 and people then decide what they want to buy from me.
Oh, I
I
like that.
normally don't
I like
have a
that.
fixed offer. And depending, because my idea is to handle my people with myself, like I said to you.
Mhm, mhm,
Now with websites, and we are creating websites for people, and then if they like, they buy it. That I'm expanding a little bit, but I need to have my fingers
mhm,
on all things. But
mhm.
I can sit with you and start creating things with you, and we go step by step. I just don't do it. One of the reasons is I used to say, okay, I work with you for 6 months, blah, blah, blah. We are going to achieve this, this, and this, and this. Pay up front. And then I did not like to work with that person. So that
Mm.
was a nightmare. So I'm not saying that this in any way can happen between us, but I prefer to, okay, let's do this. and see how it goes. Let's do this. Because as well, majority of people arriving to me, they feel it, but they don't give birth to that because they cannot see it. So I'm the, how do you call it? The doula. So I'm like the person who's like giving birth to, or helping you giving birth to the thing then we are creating, to
Mm.
the mission, right?
Interesting, interesting. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
And these
Fascinating.
podcasts, for example, and you are talking about sales calls. I don't know how to sell, but I sell. What I mean with that is like, give me a script to read and I will like fail totally. I used to do live TV, but when it did need to be recorded, I was a disaster. Like I like to go with the flow. Like don't let's and many people like, oh, it's $10,000 and this is the price and you hold like I listened business coaches and I said, no, like let's figure out a way for the person to feel that they are getting progress, and then they feel comfortable to pay you a little bit more for this, and then we celebrate, okay, we have this, let's go a little bit more to the right. And majority of my clients end spending 20, 30 many times, but that is something that we build together,
Mm.
each single thing. And I have clients who pay $200 and we have one type of experience, and
Mm.
I am always happy,
Mm.
always happy, because they're, you know, I'm going to tell you something, then it's not what I should tell about my work, but there it goes. Um, I put people on the covers of magazines, and a majority of people saying, "Oh my God, I'm going to be on the cover of a magazine." I don't believe, especially if you do one, then you
Mm.
are going to get clients from that. Let me be
Mm.
very honest. I
Mm.
don't promise ROIs, but
Mm.
is there something magical then happens when I create a cover about you? I create an article about you. Many times I transform that article in audio. I
Mm.
have our podcast under because it is a digital thing, so we can keep moving and changing.
Mm. Mm.
And then you start seeing you with my eyes or the eyes of other ones, and you start saying, "Oh, wait a second." So I believe it's like holistic experience. And
I,
then
I
it,
think you're right. I think you're building them an on-ramp for actualization. And that kind of, in other words, well, I think one of the reasons why you've been so effective is because of you went into great detail about in fact, one of the things I really learned from you today is the tip on bridging the gap between today and victory, and where you're not just having you're not just you're not just envisioning victory, you
Mhm.
are already articulating what I would term visioneering. You're taking that experience back to today to empower you. I think that's very powerful.
100%. And
Yeah,
I'm looking here because I did want to show you something in live,
yeah.
because I think it's important. Um, because I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example. This is my dear client. It's my dear. I was talking with him, and I'm going to take you on a road. So here is the
Yeah, these
one
are
man.
awesome.
Yeah,
These are
so
beautiful. Yeah,
this is the
beautiful.
legendary Arabia. So the one man
Really,
title is an actor and he creates inspirational content. And
really.
we start by telling his story on Arabia. Okay?
Hmm.
From this, and let me see if I go to the
Well, I
correct.
like everything about your fonts are
Yeah.
beautifully articulated.
So then, oh no, I'm lying. Then we went to Mexico and we did the same kind of story,
Yeah.
but in Mexico, right? And is in Spanish, but It was like a way to go global. And then
Mhm.
we did this one. Then is the one where he comes even with the movie where he save. You can see here. Let me see if I put the sound down. But it tells the story. And if you see how many people like they don't. He's not then he's exactly selling something. He's warming up the what he's doing.
Mhm.
And this morning, we are releasing because we are going to release his first album. And his album is about they have like cinematographic music, they have like in Arabic music soundtracks, but as well he's going to have like uplifting music where he drop his words and we create music. So it's a full experience of expanding legacy.
Mhm.
Now,
Oh,
important to
okay, go
make
ahead.
money as well, so you can keep
Mhm.
expanding legacy.
I see what you're. Oh, it all makes sense. It all comes full circle, Rita. You're essentially with your little visioneering tactics and strategies. You're baking your legacy pre-day.
Yeah, and as we do, like majority of people came to me always have this to say, "Oh, I'm working on my website for I don't know how many time and it's not ready yet." So I always say, "Okay, do you allow me to create a website for you in 24 hours, 48 hours is ready?" You can do the
Mhm.
change then you want, and if you like it, you can buy it. And let's be honest, buying a website, full website, and I can show you a few, but full website where, let me see if I find here,
Well,
full,
$500 is very affordable if you're interested in a website. Most
it's
good websites, I think, are 3 to 5. Good, great ones.
yeah, of course. Look, for example, Christian Workman is one of my clients, and
Oh, I like that already. Oh, I like
yeah,
that.
he was arrested, so he have a book about this is the
Really?
magazines he did, and now he have a website. You can buy his book here,
Oh, yeah.
and I give you the full package. And that thing that I told you about the brand activation is gold because you have your brand Bible. And with your brand Bible, you will know where to make money, what people to talk, what to put. Another thing, oh, I don't know, I hate social media. The algorithm doesn't love me. Okay, let me organize your content and let's it doesn't need to be posted every single day. Needs to be posted with meaning. Just that.
Hmm.
And amplify beautiful stories as yours.
Well, Rita, I have an idea. Let me know. Can you listen to this idea?
Oh, yeah, I'm here.
Rita, what if you and I joint ventured on a website? In other words, and get this, what if we used um, I think one of the biggest problems today is people are afraid. And they need, first of all, before they need any course, they need to really get over the fear of losing. If they haven't lost their 9 to 5 job, they will soon. It's all coming down, Rita. The European banks are starting to seize up. Here's where I think God could use people like you and I. I would like to, for the rest of my life, to be poured out in service of those needing a new operating system to fully articulate their worth with the Creator in order to create a new benevolent, pro-human future. Here's my high level thought. Build a beautiful um, website and then maybe have a little corresponding app modules equally beautiful. And then maybe I could have just a few messages and then, of course, my podcast with you and others underneath. Then, if you wanted to have insights, you could have your videos there. Get this, what if we created a new type of university that would seek to locate people, and maybe we could have some free personality tests or things that could measure where they are right at today emotionally. And then what if we had this website be like a gateway to, for example, I've been a student of many great coaches. I've been a student of the great Tim Grover for a couple of his offering. Now, Tim Grover is great if you're in like this category. But then there's other coaches like Jamie and Donna Winship who have, a lovely message of how to tune in to optimum spiritual frequency, for human elevation. There is the gentleman I spoke to you about that today, Rita, is able to help the woman who all of a sudden has memory of her sexual abuse, or the man who served in the Gulf Wars and has memories of the violence, and he's stuck in alcoholism or whatever. What if we had like this? We had an electronic interface, whether that's app or the various social media engines, and we had a door that said, "We see."
We see you.
Can even provide a little guidance, for $19 or $25 processing investment, which would cover maybe some light psycho emotional questions. So we could suggest, if we didn't do it one to one, we could suggest maybe they start in our university at the offer of Jamie and Donna Winship, or maybe, and here's another person that could help us. Have you been on the Brad Lee podcast yet?
No.
Oh, he's
No.
got to get you on, or you would kill that. You would be so good.
I
Brad,
am listening to you, and I am so sorry to want to stop you, but
do you have to go?
I'm really good on this. And
Go.
what I'm listening, Rocky, what my brain and my soul is telling me right now
Go ahead.
is there should be, can start as a website. Making an app is not difficult at all today. No, sorry, it's not difficult. It's not difficult for me, my team. It's the
Right,
difference.
right.
But something then call believe in yourself again.
Oh, I like that. I like that. Or awaken to yourself.
Wait,
Yeah.
or because the problem now is not they don't have capacities, and we go back to the board of achievements. The
Mm.
problem is we need to give them tools, and community was crossing with the same issue.
Oh, you bring up community again. That's so
Yes,
powerful.
exactly. And
Oh,
they can listen to you, and you become Rocky, the man who will make you believe in yourself again.
Rita, do you want to create a social village, like a little mock Facebook where people can come on and
I have, it
not
depends.
bullshit each other?
We can create all of that in different ways and in different rooms.
Yeah.
Then we can totally talk on off, because if not, we are giving to all these people a lot of things, then can be overwhelmed. But for me, Rocky, you can, if I like to give titles to my people,
Mm,
and for me, you represent hope, and the fact that you believe in yourself
mm,
to do this
mm,
makes it, you are the man who will help you believe in yourself again, maybe. I'm
mm.
like
I
playing
like
with the
that.
words, and don't forget, English is not my mother language, so i'm
Yeah.
I'm crossing
Well,
paths.
it's very wise of you to say that because, Rita, my entire career, I pour into others.
Me
I
too.
go away. I go away.
Me too. But,
It's my,
I have a theory about that. I believe then we suffer of the good selfish pleasure of giving, because we
really?
get so happy in doing that. It makes
Yeah,
it fulfill us so much, then it's almost selfish. And selfish, not in a bad way, but it's
right.
our mission. And when you are living our mission, it's like to see someone who lost their 9 to 5, who's in the
Mhm.
middle of a chaotic thing, and we can teach.
Mhm.
And I was going there on the beginning, like you, I, I can totally back you up with all the things, but you imagine you being the face who can teach A, B, C, D of AI to people
Uh-huh.
with 45, 55 plus. I will
Uh-huh.
back you up and translate, and you bring the message.
Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, AI is such an incredible gift. And I think the elites really miscalculated when they distributed. I think they were trying to overwhelm our senses, but now it's actually your fuel. I can tell it's your fuel. It's absolutely, it's absolutely sparking me, Rita, to new levels of throughput. And for example, when I was telling you about my friend, Boss Lady Ann, she wanted me to help her with a $30 million capital raise. And what I emailed back to her this morning after some thought, Rita, I think we need to go for 145 million.
Yeah, I have a system who create a full business. I have not on chat, but I can create full business structures within 2 hours based in what you have. Now, there is a very interesting thing. If you can teach someone how to use ChatGPT to create an image for them on top of a banana. I don't know, like on a cover, like, oh, I can show how I create my covers using ChatGPT and other app. Like
Mm-hmm.
simple, like I hate long videos. Like tao 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 tao. This is what you need to ask, and people will start. And I think the love affair with AI start by image and visual content, and you start like looking to what you can do, and then you
Mm-hmm.
start understanding, dropping the fear. Then is that fear of, oh my god, the robots control this world for quite some time, so the robots are going to, no, just imagine then is another way of a high conscience to talk with you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I want to speak to your CEO, Boss Lady Mine.
Yeah.
What do you want to do what would you like to see from just, I'm pretending right now that you're up at bat. And I don't know if you've gotten my full download yet as far as what I'm seeking to input to the world, to the young people, to the people that are living in the debris of the empire, the death of empire. Rita, we're seeing the death of empire in the economic sphere, business sphere, academic sphere. We're seeing the death of empire in even the spiritual level, where really what's happening with AI and analog and people. What I like to call myself is a wordsmith, and there's men and women wordsmiths around the world like you that are coming forth with language to heal and inspire.
Mhm.
Heal, in other words, most people right now, if they are really awake to the vibration and are allowing themselves to feel where we are at it, if we just look at ourselves where we are at physically, it is terrifying. But if we can get over the immediate trauma of our position,
Mhm.
and we can articulate with imagination and use AI and good books and good video testimonies of like authors like Sharma, Rick Rubin, these other creative geniuses and these leadership geniuses, there's a way out. There's a way to isolate the fear panic. The other thing that really thrills me, and I can't get this out of my mind, is the possibility of not only getting people stabilized, turning them into their version of, turning them into little Ritas, little animals running around, living on mountains, eating everything up, having fun, conquering life. And then, Rita, what if we could then take these men and women, boys and girls, because obviously this needs to go to the youth. We need to rescue them from, for example, harmful evolutions of Andrew Tate. I think, I'm saying, in other words, I think this thing, once it gets, this message is crystallized, it
When you
then
give
with your,
when you give another perspective,
go ahead.
I think the narrative, because of the algorithms, the
Mm,
narrative are being very boring even,
really?
because the algorithm just serves you what they know you watch. And
Hmm.
if you watch crime, you will watch crime. If you are in my position right now, each time you open a of Instagram, you will watch all about AI. So like
Really?
I need, yes. So the
Oh,
algorithm doesn't. I I have an idea, and I
okay.
have a clear idea, but I don't want to tell on the podcast. I want to talk with you on off, because
Okay.
this is something that deserves secrecy. And
Sure.
so I will invite you for many other ones, but I normally finish my podcast with a question.
Yes.
Very curious to know what is going to be your answer.
Yes.
A message to your younger self.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it would. This is getting me emotional, Rita. I would say, Rocky, young man, life is amazing, and it's gonna be incredible. It's gonna be incredible, Rocky. However, what I want you to do at this stage is let go of the fear of failure, and I want you to run from this like a little fat baby wobbling. Go out there and fall 6 times to get to the countertop. Grab yourself an apple and get over the fear of falling down. You're going to fall down. But here's your ultimate rescue, young Rocky. Your father, who is up above, not only is going to redeem you every time you fall, even the trauma you put on yourself emotionally, he's going to heal you of that in the future. You're taking humanity to another place.
Beautiful. We have a mission together, is what I have to say.
Amen.
I'm going to say bye to these beautiful people, and obviously continue to talk with you in a second. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Yes, yes.
This was a very different podcast. I even think that the word podcast is not good enough for this.
Mm.
Um, to you, listen to us. Keep living your dream and make it happen. And I will drop a quote of Henry Ford, because whatever you believe you can or you cannot, you are always right. Take that responsibility and ability and magic. My name is Ana-Rita Valente, and I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.